Thank you. Yes, it's imaginary or invisible.
packing up from one of the best campsites I have ever stayed at. I've been really fortunate on this trip to have some amazing campsites to stay at, and this is by far the best one. I'm currently at Gooseberry Mesa. I knew that this was going to be a great location, but I had no idea that the camping was going to be this good. I'm parked on top of a mesa right along the rim with one of the best views that I have ever seen. So I wanted to bring you up to speed as far as what's been going on. Since my last post on Little Creek Mesa, I've since moved into the town of Hurricane and have been hanging out with my dad at the campground. He's staying at Willow Springs RV Park. It's a very nice RV park, and I stayed there for about 4 days. Me and my dad did a few bike rides together. We did a wonderful trip through Zion National Park. You can actually park outside the gates, ride your bike inside the main road of the park. They only allow bikes and shuttle buses inside the actual national park. So me and my dad essentially felt like kings riding our bikes through Zion with very little traffic. Zion was absolutely spectacular. I really got to soak up a lot of the views and get a feel for the place. Although I barely touched the national park. I didn't do any of the hikes like Angel Landing or the subway, but save something for next time. Then we went and did a bike ride on the Gym Trail. The Gym Trail's a popular trail out here. Did it out and back on that. It was really fun, flowy, lots of jumps, little drops, pumpers, berms. Really enjoyed riding that trail. My dad rode great as well. It's a pretty tough mountain bike trail, and he rocked it, so we had a great time riding that. And then we did a quick ride out to the coffee shop. In Hurricane, there's not too many coffee shops, but there's this wonderful coffee shop right along the Virgin River. It's called Red Rock Roasters, and we met my Aunt Nola and Uncle John there, and I had some tea, they had some coffee, and they had these giant pastries. So that was really cool. Also, I've been able to spend time with my Aunt Nola and Uncle John. They are great people. My Aunt Nola is just so sweet. My Uncle John, he's just quite the character, great man. Both of them have lived amazing lives. So I'm really grateful I'm able to spend some time with them and enjoy where they live. They live out here in Hurricane and have a neat little house up on the bluff with some great views. I also had a work day on the van while I was in the RV park. It was a great place to do some work. Seeing how we're right there in town next to Ace Hardware and the grocery store. I ended up making Reflectix panels for the front. Both the passenger and driver's side windows have Reflectix panels now, and I redid my big sunscreen Reflectix panel in the windshield. I had one in there before, but it was a little too small and it was falling apart, so I just redid that, and turned out really good. So now I have Reflectix panels 360 degrees, and really enjoying that. It blacks everything out, it keeps everything cool, keeps everything warm depending on what you want it to do, and glad to have that done. Also, while I was staying at Little Creek Mesa, I noticed some leakage over here in this corner that was alarming. So while I was at the RV park, I was able to take my dad's hose and sprinkle some water on top of the roof and figure out what was going on. Luckily, there's no major roof leak. It was just the Reflectix panel was stuck between this vent window back here and didn't make a good seal. It was letting a bunch of water in. So so let me tell you a little bit about the riding out here. So the first ride I did was the Windmill Trail, the North Rim, and the South Rim. Essentially made a loop out of that, and it's probably the classic Gooseberry Mesa trails to ride. The South Rim was rated as extremely difficult. I would say it was very technical, very exposed, a lot of great tricky slick rock sections that you had to negotiate. I really liked Gooseberry Mesa because they had painted the rock, so when you're going through the slick rock, it's really easy to get lost. Out here they had spray painted the rocks so you could follow some dots and make your way through the slick rock and navigate quickly, unlike Little Creek Mesa where I was following cairns and that got a little bit confusing. So South Rim Trail, that was spectacular, one of the best trails I've ever ridden, and I absolutely rocked it. I'm just feeling really good on my bike. I've gotten over 260 miles of riding this month, I think over 18 rides. That is wonderful. I've really been enjoying getting back on my bike. So let me show you around the campground.
Here you can see this amazing view. Unfortunately today it's cloudy. This is the first cloudy day I've had, and the mountains behind us are a little bit hazy. Normally they're bright and red and spectacular, but that's okay. You can still get a feel for the view and everything I've been experiencing while I'm out here. There's my van, and I'm mostly packed up. I'm about ready to head out here in a few minutes after I finish this video. So there you go. This is my campsite. It's definitely what I would call a 5-star campsite. It's just beautiful and spacious and secluded. I'm really the only one out here, and not only that, the trail is right down there. I can just ride my bike 10 yards down this little area and I'm essentially right on the trail, right on the rim of the cliff. So all right, well, thanks for checking it out, and I'll catch you guys up soon.